Arlington Raceway has been associated with stock car racing for some 60 years, and during the 1970s, when banger racing was gathering momentum, one particular breed of car came to dominate proceedings. It was big, it was tough, it had 6 cylinders, it was easy to find, and somehow or another, many years later, despite the fact that so many cars went banger racing, so many have been restored, 104 Austin Westminsters and their derivatives have been found, put back into racing condition, and will be here racing this Saturday evening in the all-Westy meeting. It's been waited for a long time by fans, and everybody said that it probably couldn't be done. We've managed to do it. Over 100 cars are here to put on a show.
Have you raced many of these cars?
I raced one back in about '98 for the firecracker.
All right.
Didn't have the original engine, had a V6 in it.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's a good motor.
Yeah.
It lasted all day.
All right.
End up rolling it over in the DD to finish it off.
Have you got anything special today, is it?
No, just a used 4 litre R with the original engine.
Yeah.
A bit rusty.
All right, yeah. But you'll be in for the trophies, you hope?
No, it's not big enough for that. No.
All right.
That's all right. That chap don't like.
Been banger racing many years. How many Westies did you race?
About 20.
Yeah. Did you enjoy racing it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. Why haven't you brought one down today?
Just I haven't got any.
You're still racing out at Brayfield, and
Yes.
yeah, and you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it.
That's good, yeah.
It rained. It rained. We came down from Birmingham yesterday and it rained all.
Now she's going to get in the way. Where you at? First in. Yeah, first in with me. Where are you?
Right, it's no beer.
Alex, what have you got in your arm?
Hey.
And this way. Hang on.
I don't think Dan was listening.
Yeah, it's in cuddling. What? Seems a bad sign, isn't it?
Alex, what's that in your trousers, guy?
Right.
I'll wash my hands first.
Wash them or watch them.
Like a little bar that went up like that and then another bar.
Otherwise you could earn more money. Don't go there, just keep on taking road as it is.
I went in about 3 laps after you.
Did you? Yeah, she knows it, yeah. Good luck. Thanks for
How long have you been trying to give up, mate?
Give them 2 weeks. They've been...
Call this thing. Turned up 9 Friday.
Yeah, that we should...
That's the way the doors come right.
Got me one, and when he come back and said that's for that girl. I said I'll bring because if I talk to a woman, you might think yeah, they do fit.
Yeah, they're tight, but they're snug, alright? Alright. Petrol around there, is there?
The more veteran patrons of the establishment will remember there was a particular make and type of car that used to dominate banger racing here. Now that was some 40 years ago, and surprisingly many of those cars have survived long enough to be taken out for one final last drive here in Arlington. We've been waiting for this a long time. I've been looking forward to this a long time, and I'm sure you have too. I'm Paul Huggett. I'll be doing part of the commentary this evening because we welcome back to Arlington a man who was the voice on the microphone for many years and recalls those days with some pleasure. The inimitable, somewhat understated gentleman Jim Gregory. Jim, good to see you back. Thank you very much, Paul. It doesn't seem like, well, it wasn't that many years ago when I was here anyway, but I'm pleased I taught you how to do it, or something like that, didn't I? Anyway, as you say, the Austin-Westminster meeting, bit of a mouthful, it's just the Westy meeting, isn't it, as far as we're concerned? We won't, well, I won't. Paul will give you a bit of a rundown that there is more than one type of Austin-Westminster. He's done his homework, needless to say, the Master of Preparation hasn't. But I do know at least 4 sorts. The advantage that we have got, of course, Paul and me being the old boys for the old cars, is that we saw them racing the first time round. And for those of you who are here and have never seen them race, and there's probably some people here who don't even know what they are. They were, of course, the iconic banger of their day. They were never very quick, but by golly, they were strong. If you turned up for a race meeting with one of them, you meant some serious business. Didn't matter if you won or not, you just went there and you wanted a good crash. Hopefully, Paul, I think we may well be seeing a lot of crashing tonight.
I think that's a given, Jim, because I suppose these cars were kind of like the Ford Mondeo of their day, but they weren't as quick. They're big, they're hefty things, they've got 6-cylinder motors, they'll make a nice lot of barking noise, which will tickle the nostalgia buds amongst a lot of people. It's got to be said, they ain't going to be terribly fast, but they pull over quite easily, they are going to be immensely entertaining. Where they found them all from, I have absolutely no idea. Well, we do have some ideas, and some of them changed hands for extremely large sums of money, I have to say, which is probably 10 to 15 times more than they would have been back in the day when they were being raced. 1 or 2 of the drivers have been recycled too, and it's great to see some old faces back here at Arlington. And even if they're not watching, they're on the team with somebody, or not racing rather, they're with somebody who is, and that's very good. We've got 7 races on the programme minimum. And you'll be seeing a lot of cars out. We have over 100 versions of the Austin-Westminster out there in the pits. You'll see some old favourites. It's going to be great stuff. You will notice various key members of staff dressed in a very retro style, a la 1970s. Jim, we seem to have been left out of that. Do you think it's because they kind of assumed, right, with you and me, that our wardrobe would still have a hint of the 1970s about it? Because I have to tell you, Moneypenny chucked out my flares a long time ago and cut up the suede jacket.
Yep, me too. Last week it was. I don't know what she was doing in my wardrobe. She was there with the bank manager, I do know that. But anyway, we have got our 1970s Speedworld shirts on, even though we don't look quite as, well, the word sort of that springs to mind is outlandish, but if you weren't around in the 70s, you would find it hard to believe that people walked around looking like our clerk of the course, Andrew Copper. He's the one with the big hair and the tash. Looks like a box of licorice all sorts walking around. You'll certainly recognise him. Mr. Starter with his frilly shirt and all that they've done there in the entranceway. It really, really is a real step back in time. Back to, Banger racing started in '68, but the Westminster day was during the '70s. So that's what we're focusing on tonight. As Paul said, they got the old boys in. We've got all the old tunes up there as well. We'll be doing that for you as the night goes on. But it ain't about Paul, it's not about me, it's not about the fancy dress. It's about the racing, and we are not that far away from it. We're going to do something we don't do too often to start with, a grand parade. So that'll be your chance to see just what some of this material looks like. And some of it, Paul, you've been ferreting around the pits, some of it is absolutely ace, isn't it?
There's some great cars out there. I mean, the oldest I've come across is 1955, one of the early Westies, right through to the late model one. There's 1 or 2 bank manager specials out there, the ones with the Rolls-Royce engine. There's loads of good paint jobs. There's a lot of fellas who painted them just like they did in the 70s. There's a great job. There's some terrific cars coming out right away. Looks like they're almost ready for us.
And just before they do, from far and wide as well, because you've been talking all sorts of languages out there.
Yeah, we've got a contingent down from Scotland. And in fact, we've got a guy who used to race here fairly regularly who now lives at the far end of Scotland. That's old retired Roy Bramley. Nice to see him back down in the south of England having a go. We've got a big contingent of Irishmen over from the far side of Dublin, and they're over here racing their cars until either the cars or the drink run out, I'm not sure which, intending to drop in at another racetrack on the way home, I believe. And a whole bunch of guys from up north. We've got some Yorkshiremen. We have an assortment of West Country fellas that we haven't seen for a little while. It's going to be great.
Right, lovely. We'll be on with the grand parade in a minute. Just a couple of quick formals. Very big thank you, obviously, to everyone involved in putting this on. It was Nico's idea.
Nico, the banger scribe. It was his idea. He's seen it through to where we are tonight. Thanks to all the drivers. They managed to find the cars and they brought them here tonight ready to race. Thanks to you who are here tonight to watch it, especially if you've come from East Anglia. If you're like me and spent nearly all day on the Dartford Tunnel, you won't have enjoyed that, but you will enjoy this. So here we go then. I'll hand over to Paul to give you some names, some numbers, some familiar, some new, but all of them here to entertain you.
Black one. Behind that, we have many of you. We're noticing some of the drivers are coming out complete with crash helmet because 30 of them will be staying on to do race number 1. There is 3 heats of approximately 30 to 35 cars in each, and we'll be seeing who we've got for you as we go on through the evening. We've got Dino in the 421, that's Lawrence Holt, and he is one of our travellers from Dunbartonshire. Nice to see Lawrence down here, the Northern Bangers crew. 3-1-1-3-1 needs no introduction. That's of course Jason Jackson, Dr. Jack, current day winner and a late entry to the programme. In the 515, Willie Irvin, 33 of course, with that big exclamation mark. We were just debating earlier on as to whether he might be one of the more elderly of the drivers out there, and that's all relative. That's Simon Reed of course, 700, Mark Glenister, and he's Spawn favourite, back with us in car number 700. Spud Gun, 368 from Southampton, back up here. He has donated a lot of cars to a lot of people. Gromit in the 131. Hello there, young man. That's Pete Hammer. You've seen him in the rookie bangers, as you might call them, here from time to time with a new paint job. Tony Sims, 73, usually a little different colour from that. In the number 500, we've got Bill Wenham. Hi Bill, welcome to Arlington for the Metal Records. 152, we'd have thought that was Graham Poulter back in the day, wouldn't we? But that's James Dillon, Mr. Grumpy, all the way from Edinburgh in Scotland. Good to see you here, Jim. 192, Fathead, as he's known to himself and his friends, and that is Stuart Warby. 794 behind that, too. Keefe has sourced one of the very old Austin Westminsters from the 50s, an A95 model, if I'm not much mistaken, with an A90 behind that with a shorter boot, I'm told. 315, Jack Holmes. 46, Maverick with a most impressive machine. Somebody told us that Keith Painter, aka Maverick, is talking about hanging up his crash helmet. Can't quite believe that. We'll hope that we can ask him that question later on. 67, Mark Whittaker. 819, Paul Pearson, and one of the greybeard racers tempted back to have a little go. Wow, that's an impressive hat there then. It's Steve O, your man, from the far side of Dublin there in the 388 with the green hat to boot, and his many buddies behind there. They're having a great time, the Irish lads. Mark Hughes, another Republic of Ireland special, and the 484 behind him. We've got Darren Capel, the control car over, so we've still got plenty of cars. Keep them coming out here, why don't you? In the number 16, actually programmed as 816, Mike Flaherty, another of the Irish boys. 402 is escaping me just in a minute. I think Manners. 25, Tomo, of course, Mark Thomas, and we are back Flynn with the 366. And second rank of cars coming round. 360, Jack Reynolds. 409, Joey Collins, a semi-regular here at Arlington. Brian Mullen, another of Ireland's finest in that well-painted Westie. 133, Carly Day for the Bears. We'd be very surprised if there wasn't at least one bear here tonight. Finbar Saunders, with or without his double entendres, in the 346. 533 behind that. And 533 is Sid Herzog. And Sid is an old stager from up in the northwestern part of the country where they used to race with that big old crew Shale Way, and these days Sid doesn't come out very often. When he does, he likes to do it in something classic. Number 4, Phil Brooks, and that's a smart oldie, around about a 1955, so you're looking at some seriously old motor cars out there tonight. 796, Dave Steeds from the Wacky Racers. You're no mistaking those big graphics on that one. Now 480, that's a bit more like I remember bangers looking back in the day. Kane Cable has gone for the retro look. Well done, Kane, that is absolutely how I would have painted a banger back in those days. 173, Steve Reynolds. Hey Steve. 290 behind that, and that's Jay Tompkins, all the way from Cornwall. Sunday Raceway is what he calls home. 488, Rodders, me boy. 833, Beefy behind that, in the all-white one that has obviously seen a little bit of action at some time in the recent past. 88, and late entry from the Hinson Cowboys, Mark Palmer. 395, the West Howl Warrior, or in this case the Westy Howl Warrior, that's Joe Donworth.
no stranger to Arlington, and neither was the man behind, 658, Simple Langridge, used to race in stock car days with 100E Ford, popular among other things. Number 3 is Alex Clemens, recently. Keep coming. Lots and lots of old material. Jim, you're going to enjoy this up there. These boys are going to give you plenty to talk about once they get off the racetrack. Real Andy Ruff drives the 209, 304, nice looking yellow paint job for Alan Tibbs, where the cat crept in, I'm sure has some significance that we're probably best not delve into. 727 is Simon Young in the Bandits colours of the day, and looking very good that car does too. 280, we've got Simon Goodale, Slicko. Races most of the time up at King's Lynn in Norfolk. Well done, Slicko, nice to see you here. 190 is Dominic Gumbleton, and Dominic, he's been here on behalf of the Wacky Racers a time or two. Jerry Ansell, good evening, young man. Are you all right? Good. Number 5, Spike the Warlords, Mark Kelly. 216 behind that, more Warlords, they are pouring out. Nigel Baker in the 216, 517 and 518, the consecutively numbered Weldons, Scott and Mark. And good to see them here, don't see them too often at Arlington. Great to see them on this occasion. 313, John Cullingford, another of Norfolk's finest. Draws breath. The Millen crew come next. Now they were here relaxing earlier and already had the barbecue fired up. And good to see a lot of people having a really good social occasion out of the pit here at Arlington. It's been treated very much as a big show for the drivers. They've worked long and hard to get the cars, get them to work. One guy was saying that he'd spent 5 months running around just looking for parts, trying to make the thing run. We'll catch up with 1 or 2 more of the drivers as we go. 583 needs no introduction. That is, of course, young Mr. Weeks, who will no doubt, and indeed being driven by Mr. young Mr. Osborne, so that try not to crash it before the parade's over, Peter, if you don't mind. 404 Millsy, 821 behind that. We're up back to the high numbers again. It's Rob Bennett. 917, the man with the highest number of all is John Millen in the Brickmakers Grab Hire Westy. 924 behind that. Good evening, young man. Good to see you here again. He's got a higher number than him. Now that's beaten me because he's on my list. I'm going to catch up with you in a minute and have a word. We'll see what we can do. Beat Millen on the high number stakes. Clyde Williams, the Antle Mob at 136, 564, Mark Cooper. He's coming now, our long the man who is a regular, he's just too far away, just down there on Romney Marsh. 379, 80 Clifton. 57, glorious George Draper, aka Boris. In a fine looking car. Takes a lot to take Morris out for a race these days, and this was going to be the beating. That would do it for sure. There was no way he was going to stay at home for this one. Behind that in the 85, we have another addition to your programme. I think, that's James Ellis, entered as 885, and of course, behind him, here's his gorgeous partner, 703 Danielle Hewitt. Danielle is the only lady racer here tonight in the Westminsters. She gives a good account of herself in national bangers and domestic bangers all over Norfolk. Nice to see her down here in Sussex. 467, another early model for Johnny Plater. 292 is Keith Saunders, of course. Another steaming gently. Mark Rowland, East London, PRI Arena Essex racer on the most regular basis, I think. And 241, Paul Corpina. And Ricky, I think, in 5 is around as well. They had a bit of an exciting trip, the back team, actually towing the car to the meeting with an Austin Westminster on a trailer. Excellent stuff, except that the race car wanted to overtake the tow car on 1 or 2 occasions not far out of Orpington. And in London, the Saturday afternoon traffic, that's probably not a good thing. 514, Marty 18, 322 is Trigo, James Newland. Pop is about, he'll be on the trophy presenter's duties later on too, and he's raced here many a meeting. Gary Pilcher drives car 599 and 66 Mark Rogers. 627 behind that. Now I didn't know this guy was going to race, but it's great to see him again. Terry Coke, ladies and gentlemen, last seen in a V8 stock car a few seasons back, and has been tempted out of retirement complete with the Yatley commercials and indeed the traditional Australia-based fit plate of the Melbourne team from way back in the day. Tony Scott Hamby drives car 134, of course. And we've got 474 just come to join the fray. That's Matty Threlkeld all the way down from Carlisle. So he's just an Englishman, just about. And one of the long haul brigade along with the rest of his mates. Kieran Carter, now he is Irish, but he lives here. So I don't know if it qualifies him to actually the Irish or English for this occasion. But Kieran, welcome back in the car 71. He's won races here before at Arlington and no doubt will again. Number 14, Mark Lee. We've got the 108, John Covey. Still they come. Just to explain, just in case you don't know, that I suppose the Austin Westminster was kind of the bank manager's favourite of the day. Well-to-do shopkeepers and people would have bought themselves a Westminster to treat themselves for their fine business practices. 6 cylinders under the bonnet, a great big solid lumber cast iron that used to propel a truck before they ever put it into a car. It ended up in the MG-C in the end with several carburetors, and there was a Rolls-Royce engine version similar to possibly to the Think number 173 with that kind of grille, the Princess R, a 4-litre Rolls-Royce motor, which one or two of the gentlemen here have substituted with something a little more obtainable, such as a Triumph. 2 engine swaps have been permitted just to get them out on the track. But the Westminster, very much a respectable chariot on the road in the day, and now these days are sought after collector's item. They won't be collecting these, but all the bits and pieces that get knocked off these cars and have been taken off these cars to go racing will come in, no doubt, most of them, to help put a classic car back into the show. Car 42, Paul Samet, and that looks very much classic with the white side and all. 33, and another 33 as well, just to confuse things,
is the sponsors for tonight, because they've come forward with their cash, so thank you very much indeed to all of the following. They will get another shout later on there. And one other, there's also people standing in the sitting area. You've all paid the same money to be in there. They would all very much like to get the same view as the people at the front. So if you are standing in the sitting area, please can you sit yourself down and be fair to Okay, then away go the bangers here on this very, very special Austin Westminster night, Westy night, as it will henceforth be known. 31 of them out there in action, and they range from all shapes, all sizes, all colours, some very vintage, some of the more modern bank manager 4R style, but whatever they are, they all have their roots in the good old Westy. The iconic banger that meant so much to banger fans and drivers up and down the land through much of the 70s. 126 black flag and 290, Mr. Starter for grass. And the early leader on this one, it is early stages, but it's number 5 heading down the far side. And second is 315 in a real vintage one. Meanwhile, still racing on with the Warlords in the shape of Spike, racing down that far side in car number 5. Had pole, but that doesn't usually mean much in banger racing, but he's driven very, very well so far. Safely negotiates what's happening on that pit bench, heads himself down the home straight with quite a handy old lead at the moment, it must be said. Spike in car number 5. Coming up to lap, former world champion Terry Coke, driving in the 627 Captain Coke of Bandits fame. 518 now. Another Warlord comes up to second. and car 88 from the Kitson Cowboys moves through into third. So it looks like you really need to be dressed in white to do well at this one. Still 5 leading down that far side. The old hearse from Jerry Ansell, Bleach, is still going well. He just saw the tremendous T-boner on the speedway as he looked out the side of his window there, involving, as you might imagine, Roy and also Boxer Jack mixed up in that too. Meanwhile, still Warlords. Number 5, Spike, leading the way, and fellow Warlord 518 running along in second spot. 88 is third, and 158 Shane Davis coming through dangerously in fourth. They've now reached more or less the halfway stage of it. I wouldn't say that half of them are still running, but the half that have gone out have certainly been put to some very, very good use. The pit spend, as always, seen much of the action. Still 5 leads the way. Here he comes then. Still looking very, very calm and collected, and he still leads by quite a long way. 518 still running second. Poor old Twiggo behind him is several laps down and not sounding at all well. But nice to see him here racing anyway. Now, could this be trouble for the leader up on the pit bend? He's got Boris tucked in behind him, and he can land a blow or two. And I think trouble, it may well have blown up for number 5, and that's not a good time to do it because there's 5 laps to go next time, Mr. Starter. 5 is still leading, but he is really, really struggling now. 518 is second. And 158, Shane Davis, watch out for him, he's the big danger. He's third, there goes 5. Here comes 518, visibly closing. And here comes 158 in third. So, as well as an action-packed start to this all-Westy evening, it looks as though we might possibly even have a very, very close finish here. I wouldn't put me money on 5, I don't think. It's visibly weakening as he goes, but still good enough to go past 533, who's been helped on his way by 85 into the bargain. Right, still 5, watch out for 518 has blown up as well now. So that's both the top 2 minus water at this stage. 158 still finishing very, very strongly. I think that's where the smart money's got to go, but it's still 5 Spike. 518 going through there, still in second. But 158 has finally ticked him towards the fence on that Hailsham bend. They go past a rare old melee on the back straight involving 85, 533 and 627 back to the front runners. The 5 miraculously is still going. 518 though now has fell by the wayside. So it's a shootout on these final stages. 1.5 laps to go between Spike in 518 and Shane Davis in 158. 1 lap to go. Can Spike hold on? He's led all the way so far, but Shane Davis is ready to pounce. He's having a good look at him on that Hailsham bend. He's not got hold of him there, but he's surely going to on the pits bend. Down that far side they go. Where's your money? Is it 5? Is it 158? 5 has led all the way, but he's not going to make it. Here comes Shane Davis then. 158. He takes the victory. There's nobody else within sight of a minor place at the moment. 71 is second. He started right at the back of the grid, and Marco comes through third in 700. Bleach comes through next.
Smiling even more when he saw the girls come down there. But I reckon that's the front, because they're just doing like Jeff Roberts, not get worse than me. But you are, that's That's the occasion. That was a good first race, Jim. That was excellent stuff. And of course, Shane, a master of sneaking up on a Westies. The poor old fellow at the front there, car starting to die under him, and the next thing you see is a pink car in the mirror. And that's going to be bad news. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, big smiles to the camera all round. All cameras, the match ranks. The media report is available on DVD very shortly, even quicker if you pre-ordered it for Barry. A bit surprised by that, weren't you?
Yeah, he was miles ahead and he just seemed to slow down. Just had enough.
Well, you sort of, not often seems to ride with you. You make your own luck though, really. That's your car good?
It did go well. It went a lot better than I thought it would.
Excellent stuff, and I'll be surprised we don't see you in the results again a bit later on this evening. They're well grounded on the car there. We'll let them all go around and do their thing. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause. They come round, trophy presenters and presenters. Our young lady suitably psychedelically dressed for this evening. Very nice too. I had a shirt like that once. I think it's Minan's curtains I had to be sacrificed for that. I'm Kevin Wilshire, good to see him. One here at Arlington on Westy night. We'll get you back to the gym in just a second. But we do understand that a certain unofficial cadre of these dangerous Gallop, he just couldn't resist it. 216 is Nigel Baker over here, a long time name in banger racing. Joey Collins needs no introduction over here. Hey Joey, how are you? Everything good with you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Excellent. Go give them what you can with this car tonight. Well, 480 we got down here is Kane Capel from Westmoreland in Kent, and over here in car 474. How are you, young man? You're looking pretty relaxed in there as well. So it's Matty Threlkel, considering he's had a heck of a long trip down from Carlisle. You're probably asleep most of the way, won't you? You've got somebody else to do the driving, probably the best plan. Over here, 379. How are you in there, Mr. Clifton? Everything good with you? A man from Romney Marsh, ladies and gentlemen. We won't hold that against him. I am as well. Nick Manners, and he only wasn't born there, is in the 402. Keith Painter, Maverick in 46. Is this true you're talking about retirement, Mr. Painter? He is talking about retirement, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure he's going to go out with one big bang, and this car looks absolutely ace. And I'm very glad to see you took that radiator grill off. That would have bin sacrilege. 515, that's Willie Irvine, occasional competitor in a historic stock car. 25, Mark Thomas, the famous Tomo, in his green and black as ever. Car number 4, Phil Brooks, one of the low numbers from Altrincham in Cheshire, ladies and gentlemen, a real live northerner. What's it like down here in South?
Very nice.
Very nice, he says. That's good. Excellent. I'm glad to see you think that's good. Number 7, he's known him Wally back in the day, and he is again tonight. Mr. Farley, are you all right in there? Evening, Colin. He usually races the stock cars these days and does very well in them, except when I tell everybody he's doing well, and then it all goes to pieces. 266 is Callum Hall in the red and black one, and in car 67 we've got Mark Whittaker from Chatteris in the county of Cambridgeshire. 388 comes next on the line. 388 Steve McGrath, and in 514 Marty 18, well known to everybody in the south of England on the banger scene. Car 304 Alan Tibbs, that's the yellow one on my right, and on the left it's Finn Barsaul, Little Mutley, as you wish. 346 360 is Jack Reynolds, another famous name in banger racing in the south of England. Number 3, lowest number on the grid, Alex Clemens, all the way from Eastleigh in Hampshire. 564 in the Dan Klein sign written, and very nicely too. Mark Cooper. We got our other number 3, this is 703 actually, because as you can see, he's got 3 on one side, 703 on the other, and it is a she because it's Danielle Hewitt, the only lady on the grid. 473, serious fun. Good evening, Mr. Berry. And Mark Nichols is the man with that very well prepared car, and I like the cartoon on the front. In case you can't see it, it says it's a hard night and a beautiful sight. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but it looks pretty dodgy to me. And you can't see it from where you are, so don't laugh. 292 is the last man on the grid before I hand you back to James, and 292 is Keith Saunders.
Oh, some good names in amongst this, some nice cars. We wish them all well, as once again we hand over to our joint starters. Alex, who's now got his raffle shirt on. Look at that, see if you fancy that. You won't fancy Okay, then away we go. 15 more laps of Westy action, and it's already started with troubles down here on the home straight for one or two. Nothing too severe, they're all actually still moving. See if the Hailsham Bend claims any. It looks like it may well do. There's one very, very sideways over there, and a rollover on the home straight from the Predators. 292 over he went. Out comes his hand. He's all right though. Spectacular stuff, and crash here as well for Joey Collins in 409. A big steam on the Hailsham Bend too. So unusually all quiet on the pits, Ben. All happening reds. Thank you, Mr. Starter. A complete restart. So a shame we couldn't find somebody better to model it, my friend. Not Mr. Starter on the car. If you want tickets, they can be had over by the pit gate where they do the pass outs to the pits, by the foodery over there. All right then, we're all set to go again. Good that all is fit and well from that Hailsham Bend incident. We wish them all a safe journey this time round, as once again is out, but number 4 at the back of the grid. Put your money on that one, maybe? Let's see, here they go then. The National Bangers on all Westy night. Away and running for the second time of asking on this race after 917 it was who was in the wars, which caused an early stoppage first time up. Meanwhile, I'm pleased to say, not that I'm biased, 313 and East Anglian leads the way. I bet he's not there at the finish. Oh dear, he's not going to be there by the time he gets here. Anyway, out goes John Cullingford, 313, and that will also, to add to his discomfort, be a black flag for going on the grass, Mr. Starter. Oh dear. Right, new leader down the far side, 474, but once again the Warlords are very much to the fore. Well, one of them has now gone. Maverick is moving through nicely as well in 46, former world champion. But it's still 474 then. Oh dear, we necessitated a real sharp turn as he went through that Hailsham Bend and came across a very stricken number 4. But so far so good for 474, still going well. .517 also nicely moving along, but being mainly moved along by Maverick in 46. And while they were otherwise engaged, 514 nipped through, and he's gone in through into second. Right past the stricken cars on the Hailsham Bend, over to the far side for 474. He's got a very uncooperative back marker. Finally gets, well, I wouldn't say gets rid of him, but moves him aside. Always fatal, because they nearly always come back at you on the next bend. But 474 survived that, but he may not survive this, because 266 really got hold of him this time. This is going to be a bit of a risky old drive through that Hailsham turn, but he's still okay up ahead of them. The Worm has crashed into number 4, which is now looking a very, very sorry state. It wasn't looking that great at the start of the race. Really old car, that one. Meanwhile, still 474 are we due for our second big finish on the night. The first one was the last bend lunge for Shane Davis to give him the victory. Are we going to see the same again in this one? The front three are certainly well clear. 474, 614 and 46. And then 67 and 25 Tombo are the next in line. Who had? 379 Worm has got to come out. He's got problems with the boot. Meanwhile, back to the race leaders, because Maverick is beginning to look very threatening now in car 46. Reds again, Mr. Starter, please. Right, okay, red flag's out. It's not officially all good. Marty Threlkall from Scotland, who's had several wins at East Anglia, including Speed Weekend. I think certainly a big meeting Ipswich way in the last few years. But look who's behind him. Maverick is lurking, former world champion and one of Banger Racing's all-time greats. Beyond that, very, very smartly turned out car at number 614. That one's, I beg his pardon, 514, which is Marty 18. And again, he's not entirely out of it. And then another East Anglian, so could a little bit of history be made here in the shape of Mark Whittaker. And good to see old Tombo there, 5th in car 25, Mark Thomas. Be nice to see him come through and get something out of this one. Well, we wish him and the rest of them well as we take 3 on Heat 2. Right, 5. Next time it will be Mr. Starter. Then 474 then. Looks a bit like it's going to be a shootout really between 474 Marty Threlkall and 46 Maverick, Keith Painter, to give him his proper moniker. Here they come then, heading down this home straight. 474, a quick look in the mirror, he can see what's coming. The question is, when is it going to come, I suppose? But it will. 514 is still 3rd, 67 is 4th, and 409 now moving up into 5th. Shame that when you get these stoppages, some of the momentum goes out of a race, but there's still something to be seen as Maverick pushes 474 aside, and that may well turn out to be the winning move. I'm pleased to see lady racer Danielle in car number 3 is back in the fun. Hello, there may be some fun up on the there may well be some fun here as Maverick takes a head on from 474. 3 laps to go, and that's now put 67 Sparky out in front. Maverick, knowing him the way we do, will have found that particularly good. And what he will be particularly enjoying is revenge, which is not going to happen, sadly. Just as he was girding his loins, as they say, ready for it, it never happened. The car appears to have died. What a shame. Anyway, 2 laps to go. And Sparky, 67, Mark Whittaker leads the way. And second is Joey Collins, who is far enough away not for worrying, I think, but stranger things have been known. We are practically in the last lap, and Mark Whittaker, 67, heading through that pit spend and down towards the flag. So an East Anglian winner on Westy night, may well be the only one, so we'll savour that. 409, where's Joey Collins gone? Oh, he's got problems over on that far side now, so we'll need a new second man, which is going to be 796, I think. But anyway, we'll confirm the rest of them and we'll say red flag. Mr. Starter, please, to conclude proceedings on a very lengthy but very entertaining heat number 2.
in the Penlands. And Mark, you got that car for quite a bargain, didn't you?
Yeah, I was nothing.
There's not much you get one for nothing. It wasn't quite for nothing. You had to do a bit of work for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I went, they wanted Indian for his lorry, so I was swapping with that, mate.
We're in the way of the wrecker. That's not something that happens every day. But so basically you got the gist of that. He really rebuilds an engine for somebody on a Ford Cargo, wasn't it? Yeah. And he gets a banger in return. I think he's made great use of that, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. Mark Whittaker, Sparky. And there we have one of our legends of racing. We're running around the car trying to get away from him. Slicko as was. And of course, we got Tricko that is. And you didn't quite get to present him with a trophy this time, though, did you?
No, I slowed up towards the end of this one.
Okay, so they're going to take the ladder on, and now, ladies and gentlemen, prepare to welcome your winner. There's Sparky, the 67 winner, and second place that is Speeds. E-Car 796, we can join a trip round with a nice young lady. That was maybe drive all the faster. As they come down here on the House return, please put your hands together for the winner and the second. Instead of that. I think they're working away like Beatles. One thing we've forgotten though, Jim, in that particular time, is just how long in fourth. Fifth, we had three. Brian Mullen. Brian, nice to see you here. This is a Wolseley, ladies and gentlemen, found somewhere in a field on the far side of Dublin. And
I think it is out there, ready for this one. Some cracking looking cars in there. Paul already pointed out one or two that would have won paint job of the night. 670 Tricky Dicky. I think that's where my money might have gone, in the paint pot department, where it definitely wouldn't have done. But isn't it great to see it? Is 08 just going past Mr. Starter now. What a classic car that is, and presented just in the way that National Bangers should be. Well done, young man. All right then, here we go. We're all set to go. Okay, then away we go with more from the Westy night here. Oh, this looks like several are about to bite the dust here at the end of the home straight. The Hailsham Bend could become a graveyard for more than one here, but miraculously they've nearly all got round there in this race, sponsored by Baldy Spares, our good friend Nigel Weeks. So they're all racing away. Surprisingly, more still running than I thought there might be at this stage of proceedings, although there could be some more about to bite the dust here on the home straight. 133 gets turned around, but still okay for him. 152 is going to get black flag for grass. The rest, though, they're going to race on, and it's Keith Reynolds who leads the way. A real blast from the past. Keith Reynolds leading the way. So we'll pick up some front runners now. The early exchanges have settled down, so trouble down the far side for Keith Reynolds, who's been turned aside and then runs into the parked cars. So that is the end of his lead, and the new race leader is now 201 in this orange and green, heading down the home straight, Irish driver. So he leads the way. And currently running in second is 33, Simon Reed. All the East Anglians would love this if he were to take the win on the back of Mark Whitaker winning the previous heat. Simon very, very popular down the years, of course, and known for the huge, great yank cars he brings to Gala Night up at Football. He's still running second, but still 2:01, leading the way. Irish friend. So Brian Mullen, through he goes then. And no sooner do we say that than we get some red flags out again. Right, red flags out, trouble's somewhere, but I know those who like a drop of the old. And away go the bangers for take 2 of heat 3. Did 5 laps first time round there, got 10 more to run. And Brian Mullen, the Irishman, leads the way in car number 201 down that back straight. Simon Reed had been second, but slipped back now to third. And we have a new second man in the shape of 3-2-1. He looks decidedly quick, actually. Does that one? That's dispatched the leader. So 3-2-1. I think he might actually prove somewhat difficult to catch. It does look a very, very quick car, that one. So 3-2-1 leads 33. Simon Reed is second, and car 32 is running in third. So Andrew Newton then going past 2 who are having something of a shindig on the infield. And they won't be the first today, and they certainly won't be the last, but they're still at it. 3-2-1 though for the time being, unbothered, as he heads down that back straight with 33 still running in second. And 32 in third. Looks like Kitson's Cowboy here on the home straight is contemplating something not quite rule book. And it's 5 laps next time. Mr. Starter for car number 3-2-1, Andrew Newton. Couple of back markers up ahead of him. Once again past what's turning into an entertaining little set 2 on the infield. As 3-2-1, 33 and 32 continue on their way. Kitson Cowboy had been up there to have a look, paid his respects, and has now come to rejoin the fray. As 3-2-1 now clear of back markers, he's gone past the brilliantly named Dominic Gumbleton amongst the back markers, and from here on it should be plain sailing. But will it be? 33 and 32, still second and third respectively. As 3-2-1, Andrew Newton heads round through that pits turn with 2 laps to go. Decides to take on the back marking 366. And, you know, with hindsight, that was a good thing to do. Once again, he's got a nice clear run, although he's going to catch these 3 back markers up ahead of him before the end of it, I would think. So he's going to have to deal with them. 33 Simon in second. Don't think really has got quite the legs to make this. So he's got to rely on 3-2-1 somehow or the other, falling out of bed in some other way. 32 still running in third. Should both come to a horrible end. There's a lap and a bit to go. 3-2-1 then, still here. There he goes then, Andrew Newton. There goes 33, pending for all he's worth, but he can't find the legs for that one. And then 32, Mark Rowland, still there in third, not going to quite get amongst them, I don't think. And this may be a victory for Andy Newton, 3-2-1. Impeccable drive, really led near enough all the way from the restart. He comes through and takes the win. Simon comes through in second, and 32 comes through in third. The original leader, 201, is still limping round. He's been certainly in the thick of it. But anyway, now we are done. So with that, it is red flag. Mr. Starter, please.
Most of your racing gets done at Scarecrow Guest, and does you travel very far with the national bangers?
Oh, used to. I'm not quite nowadays.
First visit to Arlington, though, I think, yeah?
Second.
Second time. That was great, my boy. Let's just have a quick word with it is duly presented by Mr. Malcolm Gurley. Photographers will now get the young ladies either side of our winner. And, an excellent job of winning that race with Reynolds in the even shorter boot. Old Austin on the pass. Well, Mr. G, you can do that. You can come on there and you can tell me what it's like in your day and what you think of racing these days. We had a little trip round last week and there was Squeeze on here with this nice young lady. Good evening.
Right, Paul, just before you get into action with Malcolm, we must just say a big thank you to Balby Motor Spares of Doncaster, who were actually sponsoring that one. I think I gave the wrong credits first time round. So thanks to Balby Motor Spares of Doncaster, and thanks to Malcolm for being here. We just keep asking, where is Tim Copes? Does he come on from the side?
Well, Malcolm, now, you must have raced at Arlington back in the day when you were a banger regular.
No, I was known for not travelling.
Slightly quicker, we're going to be road, we're going to Westy. So, would you get tempted, you think, maybe going over the road and meeting and see if you can find one? So that would be starting, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting probably straight about there. Becky keeps smiling, that's the way to do it. Our winner has a big arrow post, he comes down the bow stretch, great job there, and that's classic spinning bell, the way you used to do this. Absolutely. Lads out there, haven't we? And some who will be checkered flag hungry, and who can we think, who we really think is down here that's going to look at? I rather like the look earlier on of Mark Kelly's jib in the number 5 car. He was going very well. I'm very impressed by our Irish friends. They're putting on a good show. I thought we were almost up for an Irish winner last time, but it wasn't to be. You've missed me, Mr. Copper. I'm glad to hear it. Now then, Mr. Jopling in the 35, of course, is always a South bet. That's Rob. Colin Farley. Now, he's won ever so many banger races here, as did Marco Glenister in 700. There's Shane Davis. Shane Davis never fails to give his all. We have 84, Mr. Bleach in the hearse. The junk clear man himself, Tony Gilmore, RIP, it says on that car. We've got everything here. 71, Kieran Carton. 322, Twigo, 216, 533, the number 14 that almost fell over on its first lap of Mark Lee, and bringing up the rear, Sparky, a race winner earlier on in car number 67. Away go the cars. Race number 4 of the evening. All sorts of stuff. Kieran Carton gets rear-ended by Bleach, who's hitting everything in sight with the 84 hearse. 290 is your leader from 16, 280, and Steve-O, little Steve-O in the 380. 917 behind that. Oops, and various bits of the Bleach mobile are removed in one fell swoop. Once they start to break apart, do watch out for flying debris from what's left of the 84. In fact, a red flag is the order of the day. And Bleach climbs out with a wary eye on the traffic and gets back into the fray. We were mentioning earlier on Tony Gilmore, one of the late racers from Ireland. The car, relatively untouched at the moment, is back on the inside of the front. 917 John Millen coming up to us, but all having a heck of a good time visiting us over here in the UK. For 280 Simon Goodale in the Crowland race paints. Bad news, 280. 173 in the colours of the collar and take themselves away. One non-starter, 108 Stompin' John joins 322 Twigo on the infield. Sid Herzog's 533 car limping along with a rather off-centre right rear wheel. Whether he's going to make it through many laps, I doubt. And the driver's deciding to start just a little quicker that time, so what the heck, green flag, and away they go for race number 4. 290 takes the lead from 917. Already a bit of a set to before they even pass the green flag, with Marco involved in that. Number 14, Mark Lee, also involved, as was little, no, it's 148, 148 Mark Hughes. And 148 got a flat on the left front, so it'll probably be a black flag for him, I suspect, or a red cross, notifying him of mechanical problems with the car. It's 290, 917, 280, 158. Those are your leaders at the moment. A little bit of steam and smoke being emitted by various engines as things get hot under the bonnet of these big old cars with that huge, great 6-cylinder 3-litre engine pumping away under the bonnet, trying to get these old cars round for one last glorious outing before it's game over. 290 though, a steady leader at the moment. Jay Tompkins and Wixon Lawrence, Auto Speed Racer down the West Country, slides the old Princess around the pit bend in fine style on all the oil and grease. He's having a whale of a time in that car with John Millen just far enough behind for the leader to be comfortable. On the far side we have another train of cars with right in the middle of it the stick 347, a big old wallop into the back of the number 5 of Mark Kelly, courtesy of 173 Steve Reynolds. Around goes 280, gets spun around. Simon Goodale gets turned around by the bug just coming into the pit bend. Marco's still running okay. The leader is coming upon the back markers, including that mischief man, Kieran Carton, who takes care of the stick as he goes by. Now 290 wants no part of that. He nips by Kieran, but that wasn't the best plan he could have had because Carton promptly slams him into the back of a parked car. Then he gets himself stuck between two on the infield. That hands the lead very nicely to John Millen, who says thank you very much. I couldn't see that coming, but there he is, 917 into the lead. 71 a lap down. 35 is, I think, in second place. 313 after that. We've got 67, our earlier winner. He's going well again, Mark Whittaker. He's back up into the top 5. Don't think he's got much chance of catching the leader as such, but then you don't know what's going to happen to John Millen. Anything could occur as he gets that steaming Wolseley around for another hot lap. But he's got Carton not far behind him, and lap down or not, Kieran's out to be having a bit of fun and hitting anything that moves. Behind that, the bug, Jockling in 35, we've got 313, 16 limping around a lap or two off is Mike Flaherty, 67 still going well though. Sparky slides in around the pit bend. You notice these old cars, once they get a bit too sideways, it's grabbing great big huge handfuls of opposite lock, and then they usually then swing completely the other way when the steering eventually catches up with the car. But it's 917 who is your leader at the moment, and these 15 laps seem to go not quite as quickly as we used to when those Mondeos come flashing around here at silly speed in the modern era of banger racing. 15 laps will seem like quite a long time, and 917 is probably seeming a long time to John, because when you're in the lead and people are gaining on you and the car is getting a little bit slower, which it is, and up comes Rob Jockling. Rob's got troubles of his own though, because Carton's on his case. 313 is behind that. John Cullingford is behind him. It's 5 laps next time Mr. Starter for John Millen in the 917, and John's an RDC promotion regular. Jockling surprisingly drives right by him. Now that's a turn up for the books. I quite thought Rob would be up to something. 313 launching a bit of attack. John Cullingford, track star racer. And the Anthill Mob 917 is duly turned out and onto the grass. I'm afraid that'll be it as far as John's concerned. It looks like the car was starting to steam very badly. 35 and 313 it is then, so 35 Rob Jockling, not in fact as I thought a lap down, but the lap sheet shows the Warriors 3 litre 35 is now the leader, and he's got a battle on from 313 Cullingford. 67 up into third place Mark Whittaker. Shane Davis walloped around on the far side, so we don't think we'll be seeing him troubling the top 5 this time. We've got the 16, so Ireland's hopes going with Mike Flaherty in the purple and black stripy creation. Marco behind that, then there's 280, and the runners are gradually diminishing. 108 seems to have issues with some parked cars, or the parked car in question being 347, Cy Wheeler, which his car, in fact Simon's car, totally broken in the middle. As you folks under the stand can see better than we, it really isn't going to go much longer, so he's making the most of it while it does. My goodness, that car's taking some punishment. 313 trapped, 313 is off and out of it. So 35 also in trouble. We have now got a complete change in the... Well, there you go. Talk about lucky. 67 Mark Whittaker. Sparky is now back in the lead. We've got 1 disqualification, 1 car out, and 67 goes from nowhere to 6. Then up to 5th, finds himself in 1st with 1 lap aboard this time, Mr. Starter. Well, 1 lap next time, I do beg your pardon. There we go. 1 lap to go next time for your leader, 67. 700 Marco is second, and that'll be a good result for him. Carlton 71 is third, but Sparky probably can't believe his luck, because he really has got into this one without very much to expect, coming from the back of the grid, which he did, absolute back, and then with one thing and another, managing to keep himself out of trouble. He finds himself leading at the crucial moment, because let's face it, not much point in being in the lead on lap 5 if you're not in the lead when it comes to lap 15 and the checkered flag comes out. So one last bend, if he can make it through between these boys who are having a bit of a play, and that includes Mr. Flaherty in the 16. There's the checkered flag for Sparky in car 67, a bit of a surprise winner there. Marco, not sure if he wants second enough, because he's busy taking a big hit off of 280 Simon Goodale, who gets propelled across the line. That puts Kieran Carton into second position while he's at it. That's it, Mr. Starter. A red flag can be shown any time. Checkered flag for Sparky in car 67, bit of a surprise winner there. Marco, not sure if he wants second enough, because he's busy taking a big hit off of 280 Simon Goodale, who gets propelled across the line. 313 was still running just about the... This one, you're going to have to do mate. So, well, everyone that was up there. There we go, it's got to be done. Mark Whittaker shaking hands with racing. Oh, fuck hell, it turns it out tonight. I think it was light understated, and that is Mr. Roger Wilkinson. So we will speak to Roger in just a moment's time. You know, when people understate me, you can interview Roger, you always do it well. That's because I only have to say, how many world finals have you won, Roger? Well, I've won 2. I think we'll leave it there. No, because then I always say, how many were you robbed of? 2. Right. Okay. Couldn't believe your luck on that one, I shouldn't think. Well, what did that say that it's going? Yeah, and I picked myself up and I made sure, cut across, and I picked myself along the way again, yeah? Well, I was pretty first place, I thought, but I was very good. So, well, everyone that was up ahead of you... Sounds like he's on helium, doesn't it? You know, they sort of lost of everything, some of them. Well, at least lost the back end of his. But I'm looking now for Patrick, I suppose. Now, we're not wrecking. Well, you tried your best in that one, but the others got there before you did, I think. Anyway, very well done. Quick word about... Oh, I think you said about the car last time. This is the one that don't stand for anything, isn't it? Yeah, don't you not, Nick? Always judgment at 3. Oh, they are, very much so. Okay, yeah, well, right, he never prepared his cars, as we all know. This is the bad thing, and he's shaking himself in his hand. Yeah, I know, well, go on, shake his hand anyway, look, there we go. Got it done. Mark Whittaker shaking hands with Roger Wilkinson to present the trophies. Also on hand, Nigel Weeks, sponsor of this one, of course, a very, very fine driver around these parts. And young Daniel, his son, carrying on and flying the Weeks' flag. So there they are, some good names there.
Talking.
Roger Wilkinson, Mark Whittaker, Nigel Weeks, and our 2 lovely 70s girls. That was a good year for fashion, wasn't it? It really was. Well,
no, I'm not going to blame the lap scorers, because they do a really good job. We'll just put it down to misfortune.
Dear, you've mellowed over the years, right man. Really have. Are we ever going to see you back out on racing?
I'm back out in the 1600s, in the rookies, but not in the majors. No, I'm done with that now.
402 we have as well. Nick Manners, 346. Mr. Saunders, 833. 819, and bringing up the rear in car number 473, we got Mark Nichols. There you go, Jim. They're all ready to roll. Right then, okay, away go the bangers once more.
with yet another heat on this all Westy night. Plenty of warlords out there, and very much in evidence they are as well, up at the front end of the field. Maverick is out there. He was involved in plenty of the skirmishing in earlier staging. We've got a black cross going out for somebody, but 127 I think it was. In the meanwhile, we'll pick you up a race leader, which is going to be Joey Collins in car number 409. He went very well in his earlier races, although he's now been out, so it's now 360 who takes up the running. There he goes, Jack Reynolds in 360, heading down towards that Arlington bend. 474, who's been involved in much of the action during the day, has had a piece of that, but he's not come off as well as I think he rather hoped he might. So all four of these are in the battle for the lead. 360, 190, 583 and 796. Our Irish friend 201, more problems for him over on the pits turn down the far side though. What's happening with the front runners here? Jack is still in front, but not for much longer. He's turned aside, and so we now have a new race leader, and it's going to be 190, Dominic Gumbleton, Bubblegum. So he heads for the far side, and there's the Wacky Racers 1-2 here, because 796 is up there in second. So 190 and 796, Wacky Racers going well. Maverick is beginning to make a move halfway down the field, but he's coming on fairly quickly, although I might just have put the old kiss of death there. No, he's survived, he's still okay. So still 190 then. Dominic Gumbleton still out front, and his teammate 796 still second, and 404 is now gone through into third in the blue colours. Then it comes 88 is next, and then comes 46 Maverick beyond that. Not going to win this, I don't think. He's a long way back, although fifth, but we're still only halfway through the race. Second car has gone, fell by the wayside, the Wacky Racers. The third's gone as well, 404, but the leader, 190, Bubblegum, down the back straight, is still okay and still looking fairly healthy. Actually, that car just going to dispatch Manners, which he does, and he continues on his side. There's been an enormous squashing on the far side over on East Anglian Bend. Meanwhile, 5 laps next time, Mr. Starter, for 190, Dominic Gumbleton. So we want a new second. Whoever he is a long way adrift. It is still 404, and he's half a lap down on the race leader. And then Maverick will be third in 46. Right, Bubblegum sorting out an anthill mob down the back straight. He's got certainly a very fast car, but he has used it quite well. He's certainly spun everything out that's been in his path as he goes on his way again. 136 is picking up a black flag for going on the grass. Meanwhile, Bubblegum in 190 is heading down the far side with this enormous great lead. 404, length of a straight behind in second place. There goes the leader then, 190. And sometime later, there goes the second man in 404, and even later still, 406 Maverick is running in third. Right, just 2 laps to go. Bubblegum surviving what could have been a tricky turn up there on the Arlington Bend, but all is well. Now this might be an awkward few minutes as well. Up ahead of him, 474, who's certainly been mixed up in the action during the evening. You're going to have to tread very carefully through here, I think. With just 1 lap to go, but he's very successfully and quite skillfully actually negotiated all of that. 814 and 379 have an almighty coming together. 379 miraculously still runs. 190 though, Dominic Gumbleton, Bubblegum, oh dear, he's making a bit of a Horlicks of this, but in the end he's all okay. Up to the line he comes, and he's won that by an absolute mile. So he's won that very, very comfortably. We still haven't even got a second yet. Oh, Maverick's in trouble. 404 second. Maverick's had big trouble with one of the Warlords up on the pits turn. That's finished his chances of third. The red flags are out, and we'll conclude proceedings on that one as well. So there we go, all good stuff.
Number 5 on the programme, just 2 to go. I can't believe it, we're really rushing through this one. And some great stuff going on here in Arlington. That was nice for more action. Yes, we're all taking a break because there's been 2 of us squeezing in there. Nearly pushed around at one time when we ran out of the curve. Not so clever that, but you've enjoyed your trip down in Endor.
Yeah, we've had a good day so far. Trying to make it last to the
Your running mate is going quite well too, so you found a couple of good cars there, didn't you?
Good engines, I think.
That's the trick. A big round of applause, our website commander, Rags up. Down the head is Somerset. Now, just one more thing, Dominic. Are you coming out for the DD?
Yes.
Absolutely. We thought. That's not there, no? You never have inside that. There's a nice car. He's now to John, but that's they went there once. Probably knocked him down now. Now, listen, if you had your choice of car, what would you prefer to use in everyday back racing? A60 still good for you? Are you going to come back to our A60 Amber in a couple of weeks?
Yeah. Right, can we just message from lap scorer here? Can we just thank?
Because they've done all sort of the master. Of course, it always is. It's always the ladies that sort of do the hard bits, while us fellas kind of mess about, having fun, really, walking about, talking about racing, all that sort of thing. So when they come round there, led by Lady Janet herself, with a master flag and a nifty Tikva, I hope you're going to make a lot of noise for them as well, just like you would if you thought you wanted an extra race, which you're not going to get. Oh, you might do. Janet, take them round. Ladies and gentlemen, the ladies of Speedworth. Give them a round of applause if you will. They have put in the hours. Very, very hard work. The Aldershot office was throbbing. The turnstiles have been rattling like nobody's business. 290, and he was going well earlier on. Jay Tompkins, I think he's got that nice old school slogan on. She sounded a little bit rattly, that.
Then all systems go on all Westy night, and what's left of them going into what is now race number 6 on the night. It's amazing how many are still holding on here, and some are still actually quite sprightly. Rather less on the pits bend that just got mixed up in what was going on there, but they've all got away from it again and got going. But it is 35 who's taken up the running. But after the early skirmishes, still enough left for what should be some good fun here at the Arlington Raceway. The bug leads then in car number 35. Danny Sutton was second in 4.39, but he's gone and spun. But there's another East Anglian coming through to take his place. Number 33, Simon Reed, doing his best to avoid the attentions of 136 and just about managing to do so. But they're all going to have to hurry to catch the bug here, if you'll excuse the expression, because 35 really is going well. 514 looks as though he might have some sort of malice in his mind. Indeed he has, as he sorts one out down the end of the home straight, unconventional style. But it's still the bug who leads the way down that back straight, car number 35. Then 33 is still there in second, and 4AA is running in third. So 35 then, Rob Joplin, the bug still leads the way. And he's absolutely miles clear, as in the previous race, or the previous race that Simon was in. Just hasn't quite got the legs, I don't think, to catch these very fast cars, but as we know, there's more than one way of catching and stopping. The bug, meanwhile, dispatches 3 litre down there on that Hersham bend, and he's still looking almost immaculate. Simon Reed still running in second, 4AA still running in third. So through goes the bug, 35 then Rob Joplin. Back marker up ahead, the 498 Wilco car from East Anglia, that may have to be dispatched fairly swiftly as well. Although no real great need to, as 35 then continues on his way. This car still looking very good actually, still fast. 33 Simon Reed, normally in the thick of action, but having more of a restrained mode this evening, still running there in second. And what's happened here, the bug has spun, so many a slip and all that, so it's Simon Reed who takes up the running. 35 is back in the fray, but now only third, so it's 33 Simon Reed. 4AA Roberts running in second. Then here comes the bug in third. He's going to have to hurry along though to catch these two, because the race is reaching its final stages. What a win this would be for Simon, best known for crashing really, best known for the big American cars that he brings out on Ipswich Gala night. But what a memory it'll be if he becomes best known for winning what is essentially the final. There's no such final as such tonight, but we're counting this as on All Westy night. So he heads down that far side then, and he's comfortably clear now. So 136 who's now through into second from the Anthill mob, as Simon goes through again in 33 with 5 to go next time, Mr. Starter. So can Simon Reed do it? Knowing Simon, he'll be within sight of the flag, and then he'll either blow himself up or blow somebody else up. But for the moment, he's not going to let this get away. Simon Reed then, East Anglia's finest, heads through that pits turn and off up the home straight. 136 still there in second, and it's at 67 coming through in third. It is indeed. So what chance a hat-trick from 67. He's maybe the quickest of the 3 cars that are in contention for this. But Simon has got a huge great lead. He's got no real back markers to worry about, and this could be up there amongst his finest hours. Through he goes and looks over his shoulder, but but you need a telescope to see them. They're miles away. Here comes the second man, 136. Here comes the third, 67. And the fourth is the Bug. No, 439 Danny Sutton is fourth. 3 laps to go then for Simon Reed. He can hardly believe this, I shouldn't think. He doesn't win many. He heads for the far side, but he may well be winning this. Up ahead of him, Terry Coke, the former world champion and a man who's driven many other things in his time as well. Terry's dealt with the back marking 498. Now, here comes Simon, 2 laps to go. Safely past Captain Coke, and from here on, it should be all his for the taking. He heads down that back straight. 33, Simon Reed, the nearest opposition. 136 and 67, a very long way back. So Simon Reed then, the car smoking and steaming a bit, but nothing to worry about. So he's safely through past the East Anglian crowds. They'll love this over there on that far side. 136 and 67 having a battle royal for second. They could end up spiking themselves here, and they've got no chance of catching Simon anyway. Through the last turn he goes, through the pits turn, and there we go. Simon Reed wins what is effectively the final on all Westy night. So brilliantly well done, Simon, a man who's entertained us over so many years. And there it is tonight, more in race mode than crash mode. He wins the final. 67 Mark Whittaker and 136 Clyde Williams. Next.
He's well off, you know. That Clive Williams is not silly. He's with the girls. Dean can just hand that over and shake him by the hand in a gentlemanly fashion. That's probably well. Well done, Clive. And he was in amongst them. The man who was also in amongst them again, this time, that Mark Whittaker. Look at him. Little round of applause there. Another race-winning gentleman there. Even the man of Kenny couldn't stop him, and he had a good go. Well done, that man. But the race winner, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause, please, for Simon Reed. Race winner and sponsor. Come on out.
Right, this way, everyone.
Come on, hurry up.
I'm finished.
Man who's done much for banger racing, particularly up in East Anglia, particularly at Wisbeach when the days we used to struggle a bit for cars. Well done to Sparky and also the second man Clyde Williams there with Paul on the lap of honour.
Now then, Simon, that plaque's going to look well on the wall, isn't it? How many Westies do you think you might have disposed of in your banger racing career?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to ask Basho. He'll tell me.
He's got his...
But anyway, well done all those who did to work so hard. Well done, Bleach. Good luck to you and the rest of them. Here we go then, once more on Okay, 15 laps ahead of them then on this all Westminster night, and by crikey, what a night it's been. Action all the way, unexpected successes of East Anglian races during the evening, but it's been superb with drivers from Ireland, from Scotland, all over East Anglia, all over the south of course. They've come together to remember and honour the Austin Westminster, and by crikey, they've honoured it in some style here this evening. They really, really have. Simon Reed, winner of the previous race, is out in this one. Right, the leader, who was 88, has just been stopped, but so has several others. The yellow flag.
Red flag. There he's got Alex.
Red, thank you, well done. Right, okay then, out come the red flags with all manner of things happening up there on that Pitts Bend. But crikey, that's going to take some sorting out, isn't it?
Alex, you've got to watch your talking, you've got to show it in red.
On Wednesday with 1300 stock cars, rookie rods and bangers, various track championship races. The debris arising from that will be a couple of more minutes or so. So for all those who still there's still enough for some fun, I think, in this one. We wish them all well once again, led away by 474 and 583, 33 and 564. I'm not sure if you've had all the numbers. 88, 727, Bleach in 84, Colin Farley in number 7, 796, Mr. Steeds. Then beyond those, 439, Danny Sutton, Warlords 518, Mark Millen 814, 480, also there Joey Collins in 409, he's still running, so too Warlord 216, to Keith Reynolds in 260, Jack France in 245, and one other. Right, 10 laps it will be that remain on this one. It's car number 173. So he's got a very flat tyre, he won't last long. We'll hand back then to Mr. Starter.
Just be careful coming through good cars, mate.
So away they go again then, take two on this last actual race of Westy night. Still the Destruction Derby to come, and the early front runner in this one is 474, who's led the earlier race, or one of the earlier races tonight, before falling foul of Maverick, as I recall. Out goes Wacky Racer 79. Oh, a big rollover on the far side, and there's certainly two cars mixed up in that, one on its side, another one underneath it, somewhat buried, but it looks like everything is all okay, and they still continue on their way. And we now have a new leader, another East Anglian on a surprisingly successful night for them. Mark Cooper in 564 takes up the running. 409 is running second, Joey Collins, and car number 7, Colin Farley, is third. But I think there may still be a certain amount of skullduggery to be had before the end of this is over. 409 is now taken up the running, so Joey Collins becomes the new race leader from number 7 and 564. So those three then racing down the back straight. Not many that are left are all that interested in racing. They seem more interested in what's happening on the Pitts Bend, although that gradually is subsiding. We get the feeling there may yet be some more to be seen up there. But back on the track, it's still Joey Collins, 409. Car looking quite sprightly really, considering he's had a couple of quite lively races earlier on this evening. Here he comes in the familiar Battleship Grey, and he's got 3 laps to go next time, Mr. Starter, so Joey Collins could be on for this one. The nearest challenger is Colin Farley in car number 7, who's a long way back, and Jack France. Oh, this could be trouble for the leader. This could be big trouble. It is 409 Joey Collins. He's not going to come out of this, and so Colin Farley takes over, but he's still okay. I thought for a minute he might be heading for a head-on there with Mark Cooper. So it's Colin Farley and Jack France, the old firm, 7 and 245, who lead the way. Danny Sutton has moved through to 3rd in 439. Joey Collins has set about 88 here on this home straight, and that's going to block the way for this next lot that are coming through. One gets through, Colin Farley just gets through, Jack France gets through as well. So the pair of them are still okay, 7 and 245. 439 is 3rd. 409 and 88, that was a serious bit of DDing on the speedway, and I suspect there may be another hit yet to come on that one. And Jack France meanwhile has caught Colin Farley, so with a lap to go, who's it going to be? Wally Colin Farley in car number 7 or Jack France in 245? Teammates, of course, from many years. And but you wouldn't be ever so surprised to see them come across the line in a dead heat here. They race down that far side, both now racing mainly in 2-litre stock cars, but Jack France has found the legs to get past Colin Farley, and it's going to be Jack France then heading to the line. He does the honours. Well done, Jack. Well done, Wally. Colin Farley comes through in 2nd, and 3rd is 439 Danny Sutton. So that's the 3. There's only about 4 others still running, so they will get minor places, such as they are. But really good stuff. Once again, there's a fire as well under 148, so out come the old red flags. And the race did at least run its distance.
Work to get together, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of work on into that to get it here tonight.
Yeah, you've done a super job on that one, and you certainly came through. And I think we're getting one of your old mates to come present the trophy, because that was an extra race. And of course, you're going to wind it up with the DD, are you?
Oh yes.
Oh yes. I'm not quite sure how long we're giving them, Jim, but there will be a gap, I think, fair to be said, because you're nothing else. You're going to have to cool it down. A lot of boys have got to virtually rebuild their cars. But I think what we're waiting for is ladies and gentlemen, Jack France, a man of many parts, and here is Mr. Colin Farley, aka Wally, number 7, to present him with a very fine trophy for this extra race on the programme. They have known each other a lot of years, and we have quite a bit, the boys have quite a bit to do out there to get some cars ready for the DD, and unless Jim has any further information on that, how long we're going to be actually giving them to do it, but there will be a bit to...
They worked hard, that's the thing, to get them. And they've all done us proud tonight, haven't they? They've turned out in numbers, best part of 100, and they have given us some really fantastic entertainment, haven't they? Absolutely brilliant. Only fitting that a car that's the icon of banger racing should have given us a meeting.
No, any platform.
Battle commence. Right, okay then, all safely away, and looks like the Hailsham Bend is going to be the place to... Oh, look at the action over on that Hailsham Bend. They've certainly been piling in over there. Wow, there was at least one leapt off the ground, and probably several others in amongst the dust and the smoke. That all seems settled over there now. That said, in goes another. That has been the place to be standing, right over there on East Anglian Corner. As another large portion dished out on the far side against one of the wacky racers. The very rare Hearst 388 is still going, so it's still rare. And what have we got down the back straight? He looks a bit quick as well, the old Warrior there in 345. I think most of it's all going to happen over on the Hailsham Bend, sadly for the Pitgate fraternity. And there's not really much else to go down on that Hailsham Bend except piling in, and in they go. Oh, in they go. Poor old Kimson Cowboy's gone up there like a ton of bricks, hasn't he? In go others. And there's not many going to be coming out of that. 366 is still running. Is he going to dive head first into them? I imagine he probably is. No, he's kind of did. But anyway, he's still very much part of it. So what have we got? Certainly the Wacky Racer, he's going quite nicely. Danny Sutton's going in 439. This one coming towards us, that I wouldn't say it looks strong, but it doesn't look bad. 583, Daniel Weeks. And Mr. Men is still going as well. Right. So George Draper, Boris, he's still very much part of it. If anyone's likely to have a large portion dished out, he is very likely the man to do the dishing. As they head down this far side, is this going to be head-on job? No, he's run into a Warlord instead, but he will get his man. A Wacky Race has come to join in too. So now all happening in front of the home straight grandstand. And not many are going to come out of that, maybe. Who's still okay? So 241 I think it is, and the Wacky Racer, they're still going strong-ish. Danny Sutton in 439 hasn't done much so far, but this could be his chance to see to the Wacky Racer.
363 needs eliminated. 368 in a different car. 363 in a different car.
Right, still they continue on their way. And we have, oh, well, that was a strange thing happening off on the pits turn with 366 running into an empty Warlord. And perhaps he didn't have too much steering. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. So 366 definitely still going. George Boris, 57, he's still going down that far side. Who else is still running? Dan Weeks, is he still going? Is this Dan Weeks? No, it's Corpiella in 241, he's still going as well.
Yeah, but it's had nothing to drive round anyway, mate. I've got 4 left.
Right, this could be a final moment here as Wacky Racer gets seen to by Corpelia. Boris, I think, is desperately trying to go in 57. he's still moving. 241, he's still moving as well. So it looks as though it's down to 2 maybe, 366 I think he's done for. So 241 is still, I was going to say still on the move, but he's poleaxed himself up on the pit's turn, and this could be the final moment. Stand by, watch out, hold on. Now who's going to come out of that? Both seem to have done, so well done Paul Corpelia in 241. Not a lot left at the front of that, but that of course is what Austin Westminsters were famous for. They'd outlast a 10-ton truck, I think, if it came to it. Incredibly strong cars, but I think even they have perhaps bitten off slightly more than they can chew now. They think they might have just about had enough. Although 241, Paul Corpelia is still moving, so is 57, Boris. So this could well be it this time, home straight, perhaps. I think my money's on Corpelia. It looks definitely the stronger, it's certainly the quicker. It gives Boris a seeing to on that pit's turn, but I think Boris has still got something. But Paul Corpelia will be back for more. So it is very much these two. Paul Corpelia in 241 and Boris George Draper in 57. Amazing the punishment they'll take. Right, here he comes then, Paul Corpelia. Going to have a real good run at him. And Boris, as ever, encouraging any opposition to have a go at him, but he's still managing to keep it going. But this surely must be the last time. He's taken a good run at this, isn't he? This is very much off the long run, this one. Right, here we go. Paul Corpelia and Boris George Draper. Right, Boris, have you still got anything left? I don't think he has. He hasn't. So Boris has finally gone, and Paul Corpelia, he it is who takes the victory. Paul, what good stuff it was from the bangers. Well done, Boris. Take a bow in front of the crowd. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, my man. And well done, Paul Corpelia, 241, winner of the Banger Destruction Derby for the Austin Westminsters. And then he fences himself.
The Westies is the winner, and a very deserving winner as well. 7 and 366. So when we do it again this time next year, in the first offices, and then the single so it goes from the turn. Put much fun out. It's not the time that we know when you're able to. Thanks again for coming on behalf of Paul Harvey. lose him again. And out here to present the trophy tonight for a Destruction Derby, something he took part in many times himself here at Arlington, Mr. Nick Glenfield. Give him a round of applause if you will. If you're of a certain age, you will remember this gentleman and his Austin 3 litres of a later model. Quite like that, didn't you? Yeah, I've got a picture of one or two of those floating around home, and we'll get, everyone's gone in different directions now, but I think we're about to, we're waiting for our third place man, who's taking the far side of the track. Just before you go, can I say thank you very much, my partner. Here we are. Dean Wood shakes him by the hand, and Nick will be presenting the trophy. Don't go away, Boris. You stay put and they'll come to you. That's it. Otherwise we'll lose him again. He'll be off trying to round up bits of banger. Yep, that's a good idea. And that's it, there we go. We have our second place man, Boris, gets his trophy, and here is the winner's award. And we're just going to get that handed over to Paul. Mr. Keith Hobson, late on parade, with the camera there. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Here's our DD winners for tonight, rounding off a great evening's entertainment at Arlington Raceway. They'll be coming around for your...
From the Predators, 292, over he went, out comes his hand, he's alright though, spectacular stuff, and crash here as well for Joey Collins in 409, a big steam on the Hailsham bend too. You're now to hurry along and catch these. With more from the Westy night here. Looks like several are about to bite the dust here at the end of the home straight. The Hailsham bend. Arlington, best known for...
104 cars have been unearthed, made to run, converted back to it, and we'll have to start again because the promoter's here. Driving the bank managers and the well-to-do office staff and the office managers and such like would have been crying at the time to what was done to them. To dominate, or at least one particular type of car.
Watch out, hold on. Quicker. Got this.
Must be the last time. He's taken a good run at this, isn't he? This is very much off the long run, this one. Right, here we go. Paul Corbiola and Boris George Draper.
Stadium down here in Sussex has had six...
Just far enough behind for the leader to come through on the far side. We have right the middle of it. 313 launching a bit of attack. John Collingford, track star racer. And the Anfield Bolt 917 is duly turned out and onto the grass. I'm afraid that'll be it. 35 Rob Jordan, not, in fact, that's my thought, lap down, but
over a span of 15 years, but only 2 years had the late model design that they called the Farina. But so many of those have been unearthed that here was gathering momentum, one particular breed of car became a favourite with the drivers. It was big, it was bouncy, it had
the iconic banger that meant so much to banger fans and drivers up and down the land. And that former world champion Terry Coke driving in the 627 Cap, still 5 leading down that far side. The old hearse from Jerry Ansell Bleach is still enough to go past 533, who's been helped on his way by 85 in the second. But 158 has finally ticked him towards the fence on that Hailsham bend. They're all actually still moving. See if the Hailsham bend claims any. It looks like it may well do. There's one very, very sideways over there, and the rollover on the home straight from the Predators. 2 here as well for Joey Collins in 409. A big steam on the Hailsham bend too. So unusually all quiet on the pitch bend. To add to his discomfort, see a black flag for going on the grass. 1-7 also nicely moving along, but being mainly moved along by Maverick in 46. Him that moves him aside, always fatal because they nearly always come back at you up on the there may well be some fun here as Maverick takes. It looks like several are about to bite the dust here at the end of the home straight. The Hailsham bend could become a graveyard for more than one here, but miraculously they're nearly all got round there in this race sponsored. There could be some more about to bite the dust here on the home straight, somewhat difficult to catch. So Andrew Newton then going past 2 of Andrew Newton. A couple of back markers up ahead of the cars.
Race number 4 of the evening. All sorts of stuff. Kieran Carton gets a rear 90 is your leader from 16. 917 behind that. Oops, and various bits of the bleach, a little bit of steam and smoke being emitted by various engines as things get hot. Train of cars with right in the middle of it the stick, 347, a big old wallop into the T1, a lap down. 35 is, I think, Collingford, Trackstar Racer. And the Anthill Mob 917 is duly turned out and onto the grass. I'm afraid that'll be it. As P5 Rob Jopling, not, in fact, as I thought, a lap down, but the lap sheet shows the Warriors 3 litre 35 is now the leader. And he's got a battle on from 31 Collingford. 67 up in the third place, Mark Whitaker. We've got the 16, so Ireland's hopes going with Mike Flaherty in the purple and black stripe broken in the middle. As you folks under the stand can see better than we, it really isn't going to go much longer, so he's making the most of it while it does. My goodness, there we go. 1 lap to go next time for your leader 67. 700 Marco is second, and that'll be a good result for him. Carlton 71 is third, but Sparky probably can't believe leading at the crucial moment, because let's face it, not much point in being in the lead on lap 5 if you're not in the lead when it comes to lap 15 and the checkered flag comes out. So one last bit, Sparky in car 67, a bit of a surprise winner there. Marco, not sure if he wants second enough, because he's busy taking a big hit off of 280 Simon Goodale, who gets prepared.
474, who's been involved in much of the action during the day. So all 4 of these are in the battle for the lead. 3-6 is up there in second. So 190 and 796, Wacky Race is going well. Maverick is beginning to make a move. Maverick beyond that, not going to win this, I don't think. It is a long way back, although 5th, but we're still only halfway through. He's heading down the far side with this enormous great lead. 404 length. Number 6 on the night. It's amazing how many are still holding on here, and some are still actually quite sprightly. Rather than but after the early skirmishes, still malice in his mind. Indeed he has, as he sorts one out down the end of the home. There's more than one way of catching and stopping. The Bug, meanwhile, dispatches 3 litre down. As Simon goes through again in 33 with 5 to remember and honour the Austin Westminster. And by crikey, they've honoured it in some style here this evening. They really, really have. Simon Reed, winner of the previous race, is out in this one. Right, the leader, who was 88, has just been stopped, but so has several others. The yellow flag.
Red flag. There he's got Alex.
The earlier races tonight before falling foul and Maverick, as I recall. Out goes Wacky Racer 79. Oh, a big rollover on the far side. Continue on their way. And we now have a new leader, another 7 and 245, who lead the way. Danny Sutton has moved through to third in 439. Joey Collins has set about 88. Pair of them are still okay. 7 and 245. 439 is third. 409 and 8. Out come the old red flags. And the race. Right, okay then, all safely away, and looks like the Hailsham Bend is going to be the place to... Oh, look at the action over on that Hailsham Bend. They've certainly been piling in over, and probably several others in amongst the dust and the smoke. That all seems settled over there now. That said, in goes still there. And what have we got down the back straight? He looks a bit quick as well, the old Warrior there in 345. Ben, sadly, for the pit gate fraternity. And there's not really much else to go down on that Hailsham Bend except piling in, and in they go. Oh, in they go. Poor old Kimson Cowboy's gone up there like a ton of bricks, isn't he? In go others. And there's not going to No, he's run into a Warlord instead, but he still get his man. A Wacky Race has come to join in too. So now, all happening in front of the home straight grandstand.
He's eliminated. 3 to go in a different car. Huh? 3 6 in a different car.
Right, still they. Perhaps he didn't have too much steering. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Just Dan Weeks. No, it's Corpiella in 241. He's still going as well.
Yeah, but it's had nothing but drive round anyway, mate. I've got 4 left.
Right, this could be a final moment here. As Wacky could be the final moment. Stand by, watch out, hold on. I think my money's on Corpelia. It looks definitely the stronger. It's certainly the quicker. It gives Boris paper. Oh, what good stuff it was from the bangers. Well done, Boris. Take a bow in front of the crowd. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, my man.